Hey, everybody. Just wanted to see how this is going. There we go. Got audio. Sweet. My technical difficulties have been are pretty much diminished. I haven't had one in quite a while, knock on wood. I have to grab something to drink here. It's always good. Keep the juices flowing. Promise I'm here. Little cold brew, getting rid of the vanilla Coke. Now I've got a problem. As I move my camera. Yeah, definitely gonna have to move my camera. I don't know if I can get it any higher though. Gamers X-Plane. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, it's that early already. Where are you? It might even be earlier where you are. William, good morning. So this may be a little weird because I moved a camera. So the camera usually is like right here, and now it's right there. So if I get in the habit of keep going like this, it's gonna drive me crazy. But I think I'll be able to handle it. Hey Ryan, morning. Alberta, Canada. Excellent. Welcome. And grab a cuppa. Or if you're Blake, you probably can grab something else than coffee. Maybe an afternoon tea or whatever it is that you want to drink in Australia. Australia. What's everybody playing? What are you playing? Tell me what you're playing as we fill up the chat room, hopefully. What are you playing? Playing or running? Vanilla Coke 10:30. Ooh, that's late to drink the vanilla Coke. That would keep me up, unfortunately. So I've switched to cold brew. Cold brew coffee, Blake. It's like the equivalent, what is it, of 2.5 cups of coffee or something like that for like 11 ounces, 8 ounces. Played the Between and Mage the Ascension. In the world of darkness. And Gamers Plane's running Dragon Age. All right. Gamers X Plane. Are you is it the first Dragon Age or is it like a campaign and this is session 10? Harrigan, morning. Hope you got home all right. Harrigan's been traveling. White box, fantastic medieval adventure game. Forbidden Lands, Delta Green, and a whole bunch of different things on Play by Post. Most excellent, sir. Good. All right, if you've just arrived, make sure you chime in. Joe Swick, what are you playing? Okay, Gamers X Plane says campaign, 5th or 6th session. Nice. And then are you running Gamers X Plane? And if so, how do you like running Dragon Age? Is it something that you've enjoyed and this is like one of your go-to games, or is it something you guys are just trying out? It doesn't really matter if you're running it. You could be playing it too. Tomb Annihilation still going. Worldwide Wrestling. Sweetness. Life. Yes, indeed. Okay. I gotta change now because the camera's over here and not as far forward. Now I get my glare in my glasses, which is annoying. So if you're just joining, chime in with what game you are playing and running, or running. And if it's more than one, make sure you list it. All right. People are trickling in. Not to alienate the folks that have already chimed in. If you were to play a new game tomorrow that you have not played, what would it be? If you have a burning desire to play or run a particular RPG that you have not played or run, what would it be? Gamer says running Dragon Age first time live. Oh, but I've run it on Gamers Plane once or twice. Cool. Blake says Vaesen is the game he has not played or run yet that he would want to get to the table. Brett Pazinski, good morning. Morning Vaesen, hands down, running a game beginning in October. Very nice. Joe Swick says either Dread or Pip system. Really? Huh. Nice. Pip system by Third Eye Games and Aloy La Santa. And Dread by... Who did Dread? You guys know. Don't make me look it up. Anybody else? What are you playing, running now? And what game is burning? Are you burning to get to the table that you've never played before? Yeah, the between is from the Gauntlet. Jason Cordova, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or somebody there. I know Jason's involved. Alrighty. This is like the second or third stream or like fifth stream in a row without any issues, man. I don't know what's going on. Coyote and Crow. Have you seen that book? That's a pretty thick book. Getting a few live streams. I think it's getting another supplement. Harrigan says wants to run someday Band of Blades, Alien, and DCC. You've never played DCC, Harrigan? You've played DCC. You haven't run it though. Is that fair? Band of Blades, I'd be in on that. Gotcha. Run. Run, run, run. Run, 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 run away. DCC, speaking of thick books, indeed. DCC is a thick book, but you'd only use like 0 of it if you don't play a caster. Or you don't run. It's like you don't use any of it almost. Yeah, it's totally all spells for sure. Like all spells. Which Blake might already know that. Blake, you got DCC? Do you own it? Run, 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 run away. So I am currently playing running Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. We just completed session 2. Harrigan's a part of that, along with a few others that may join. And then playing in Forbidden Lands, and Harrigan is running that one. So he's playing in one, and then he's running one for us, along with some others. We're trying to get to the Bitter Reach. It's fun because we've gotten some water travel in that sped up things a little bit. So enjoying that immensely. Orcus Dorcas RPG shenanigans. Not sure if I like you using shenanigans. That's Irish, and I find it very derogatory towards my kin. So I'm not sure. Feeling a little attacked. 40th anniversary Call of Cthulhu with the new prop set. So are you playing that, Orcus Dorcas? So the questions of the morning. Thanks, Smart Farty. I see you. So the questions for the new arrivals trickling in, being a little tardy. That's okay. And as a punishment, as they say when you join corporate meetings, oh, what's the punishment for being late to the meeting? Nah, no punishment. But what are you running or playing currently? And then what are you burning to get to the table that you have never played? And that means you can be playing it or running it. Interested to know. Burning. Jay, calm down. Burning? Burning? That's an RPG? What are you burning to get? Yeah. What are you wanting to get to the table? Playing or GMing? I didn't answer that. I would say, fantasy started it make an itch with me. Something outside of Forbidden Lands. I don't know. Maybe Midnight or something. I don't know. Because then I'm going into 5th edition land. But 5th edition, man, that's gonna be like OSR. Like it's gonna be old school pretty soon. Like it's gonna be dead game society material soon. Or is it? That's a trick question. Like that's a tricky criteria, right? Because is 5th edition gonna be out of print? Or is it like 1D&D? I don't even know. Jay, calm down. Jay's very upset. Alien is one. I look over my shelf because these are the ones behind me. The ones behind. No, that doesn't work. The ones behind me are the ones that I'm looking at. So Alien is back there. Twilight 2000, maybe? I don't know. Orcus Dorcas says, currently running Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep. How far along are you? Where are you? What city, country are they in right now? Are they in New York? They got into England yet, maybe? Orcus Dorcas says, burning to get the 40th anniversary to the table with the new prop set. Are you running masks face-to-face, Orcus Dorcas? Inquiring minds want to know, because I have the prop set for that, and it is pretty freaking sweet, let me tell you. Blake says, could you use OSE with Midnight setting? Sure. Yes, why not? Could you? Of course, because Midnight's a setting. But it does have rules for 5th edition. But, I think the biggest thing that it ties to 5th edition specifically is the feat trees for the archetypes. Or I think what do they call them? It's not archetypes, though. I don't think they use that. Heroic path. So you could choose a heroic path. And those heroic paths are feats, right? So if you pick a particular heroic path, then you pick the level 1 or level 0 feat with that comes with that heroic path. As you level up, I think it's every 2nd or 4th level. I think it's 4. Every 4th level, you get another feat in the Midnight setting. But you don't have to stay within the same heroic path. So then you can go crosswise. However, when you do that, you have to have, I think, the 0 level feat for that new heroic path, right? So you can become very centered and become very vertical, or you can become very across in breadth and not deep. That would be the only thing. So if you were to do that, you would just have to maybe convert some of those details into OSE or give the player characters a special power because they've chosen to they've chosen a particular heroic path. And those heroic paths do tend to have the player characters be probably a little bit of a beacon of shining light, or a little, obviously, heroic, above everybody else within the setting, ideally. And it being such a pound down all the peoples, because it's got the, Dark Lord that oversees everybody. The heroes in the party is the beacon of light, right? Some OSC players might not like that style game when it's really that high hero thing, but I think you could convert it. You could convert it, Blake. It's just, what does the only tricky thing is if a feat gives you something and OSC doesn't have a particular component that you can boon, then you got some futzing to do, right? You might have to implement some home rule. So it's like, yeah, you get this feat, and whenever you do X, then you get a +2 or +4 or whatever. The only trouble is if it starts tying into skills, and OSC doesn't have any skills. So then it would be more of a GM fiat of saying, if you do an action around X, then you will always get that qualifies under your special heroic feat. Hope that makes sense. Gamers X Plane says, use 5 torches deep for midnight. You can keep your OSR hat. Oh, interesting. Ooh, maybe there's an option. Orcus Dorcas, going back to my question, saying he's face to face with the prop set for masks. Very nice. They left New York and went to Shanghai, so it's a clusterfuck, but I've managed with some great suggestions from other keepers. I wouldn't recommend it, though. Yeah, I wouldn't go that route. I'm surprised. Usually, I think mine went to London, if I'm not mistaken, then it got hung up. How long have you been running, and how frequent? So are you playing every week, 4 hours a week? Are you playing every other week or once a month? Because I'm just curious of how fast you're progressing. New York with the prop set was kind of cool. I just dumped it on the table and said, this is what you find. Matthew Sutherland, what are you playing or running currently? Chime in. Good to see you. Herman, same thing. Then also tell everybody what you are interested in getting to the table that you have not run or played. Okay. Herman says, I'm working, albeit slowly, on a Cortex hack of Midnight. No surprise there. Herman is a big fan of the Cortexes. Farty chimes in, playing in masks. You and Orcus Dorcas's campaign? Are you guys teaming up? Or OSR Sinister Secrets of Saltmarsh. Well, there's a OSR Sinister Secrets of Saltmarsh. And Cult. Gallery of Souls. Cult? Wow. Burning to Run, Dark of Hot Springs Island. In what system, sir? Because that is a setting. You must elaborate, please, Mr. McButterpants. Man, just ignore all of those feats and skills. Yeah, you could. That's true. You could do that, too. Herman, move took the book, is what I meant to say. Oh. Before the move took the book. I see. Farty, all mass play-by-post. Holy shit, you're going to be playing that for like the next 10 years. I bet you it's super immersive though, right? And it's probably pretty straightforward. I mean, Call Cthulhu investigative skill check, and if you got a game master, or if you will, a keeper, that just looks at the skill that you have and allows you to just succeed because it's high in rank. They could just tell you what happens, or without a roll would be cool. But then you can't improve your skills too. But that's cool. Matthew says, running Forbidden Lands, just finished session 5. Would love to get Vaesen or Worlds Without Numbers to the table. Is it Worlds Without Numbers, or is it World Without Number? Just kidding. Being jackass. Farty. Black Hacker for Dark of Hot Springs. The Black Hack. Herman's PCS. And where are you going, Herman? So Herman is in the air, the forces of air, and is moving. That's what PCS is. Permanent change is station, right? Is moving. And the Air Force, man, they got some good food, good cafeterias. But you're better off being overseas, I think, in the Air Force, because at least you're in some pretty cool posts. But if you're like stateside, man, you could be in like in the middle of Nebraska. You guys get some crappy duty stations, man. Orcus Dorcas says, try to meet every 2 weeks. Been playing since June of 21. It's so a year. There's been everyday delays and roadblocks, and so sometimes a month would go by without a game. There are 5 investigators. See, that's a tough one because, like, Impossible Landscapes is the same thing I'm running into, and Masks I could see happening is if you go too long, there's so many clues, unless you're like a huge like journal person. I would say journalist, but that's not what I'm going for. But if you are a huge documenter or note taker, I can imagine. I mean, we're running every other week with Impossible Landscapes, and I'm sure there's details that some of the guys will simply forget that are pertinent. So I have to make sure that they remember those details because they may come into play later. And it ruins the effect if it's going to come into play down the road in the campaign, especially. Number is correct. You're welcome, Matthew. It's okay. It's strange. Worlds without number. Whenever I heard that, it would always throw me off. It's not worlds. It's the whatever, the other one. Space without number. Stars without number. It's like stars without numbers? Stars without number. Oh, so it's a number that hasn't, it's a star that hasn't been indexed, right? Is that what it means? I don't know. Let's get something going on, right? All right, kids. Where am I going to start today? I'm going to start with this. Well, of course, I always forget to add the browser. Because the browser always changes from stream to stream. So now we should be fine. All right. And why am I not there? There. Okay. So let's just pop up. It's called the Shrouded Coast, and it may come in with the Kickstarters. But I thought it was interesting. I literally just quick glanced at it. I thought I might have saw it on Twitter or something and saw maybe a thumbnail. An Americana-inspired 5e mini-setting zine featured unique player options, creatures of folklore and legend, and much more. It's $500 goal, $2,000 earned. As you arrive at the Shrouded Coast and depart from your ship, you will first discover the port town of New Hope, a bustling, if not dreary, shipping port. There are no sandy, sunlit beaches here, just stony and cold, foggy shores. Ships and their goods come in and out. Business owners, merchants, and craftsmen do very well here, and you'll find plenty of shops to explore and purchase from. There's a large inn and tavern to stay in before heading out into the wilderness. While New Hope seems normal enough, if you listen closely to the chatter of its inhabitants, you'll hear whispers of strange things outside its walls. Looks pretty cool for a zine. I thought it would, is interesting. I mean, it's such a good backdrop. I mean, really, the coastal town, always decent, right? Likes like the black and white vibe. I was just going to say, it's like Needful Things or something. You come into the port town of Maine. Everything seems fine, and then things go awry. Like a murder mystery or some paranormal stuff that's going on could always be an interesting take on this. So yeah, check this out. It's funded. It's got 17 days to go as of this recording. Yeah, it does have an Innsmouth Saltmarsh vibe for sure. Yeah, right. You know, and now I got, okay, it's driving me crazy. I got to change my keyboard. So, okay, just short rant. I, for work, have my own keyboard, and I'm using a Mac keyboard on a Windows machine. So my Control V and all that, Control C's, it's throwing me off. So then when I'm at my Mac, okay, so there you go. If I'm having a hard time copying, pasting, that is why. This does not interest me. That does not interest me. Okay, one other thing I want to show you. Where this Icons of the Realms, Dragonlance miniatures are coming. Prepare for your journey through the world of Krynn. Woot woot. So WizKids is putting this out, obviously, for the setting of Dragonlance that's coming up. Some of the miniatures. It looks like a Dragon High Lord. Although it's not. It doesn't say what it is, but that's what it looks like. Or is that a Knight of Solamnia? Can't tell by the breastplate. Oh, maybe that helm could be Sturm for all I know. It's got to be a Knight of Solamnia, right? Black Dragon High Lord? Is that a rose on the breastplate? Right? Knight of the Rose? That looks pretty. I doubt it'll look like that completely, but that's pretty. So, you know, you could tell these are like computer rendered, right? These are the mock-ups. It's too bad they just didn't have them printed and then you like a prototype and then just take a picture of that, put it up there, because these are going to be like, yeah, look pretty in the picture. Draconian. Got to be a red sorcerer, right? Red wizard. Wizard of the Red Robes. Oh, the first one was a High Lord. Second was Solamnia? Are you sure? Really? I suppose. Yeah, I guess so. Right? Because they're on the breastplate, you can't tell anything noticeable there. And then that one that's probably the rose. So it's the crown, the rose, and what's the third one? I did like how they did that. The knights. It's pretty freaking cool. I'm reading the book. It's a little painful for me, but it could be just because I don't read a lot of fantasy. I don't know. It's let me just say it's Hickman and Weiss. That's all I could say. They're, you know, if you like their writing style, you'll be fine. Crown, sword, and rose. That's what I thought it was, Blake. Thank you very much. All right. That's... Oh, he's got some stuff hanging off of him. Babies. Babies. I don't know. That guy. That's what I look like after a buffet. Yeah, there you go. Got fish in the bucket. Some mackerel in there, probably. Is it undead? we should play Is It Undead? Like, that's what you should play at the table when you're playing like 5th edition, a fantasy game. Is it undead? Does it have like bones sticking out of its skin? Is it a majority of bones? Sean will be here all week. Tip your waitress. You're welcome. Is it undead, like a game show? Ooh, that is a dragonborn, right? Not a draconian, probably. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna have answers to why the difference between draconians and dragonborn. Oh, it's an Aurak draconian. Got it. Yeah, they're the ones that can cast spells, right? It's like a dwarf type. You know, where's the gully dwarves? Where's the gully dwarf? Where's Boo-Boo? You know, back in the day, Sean played D&D miniatures when it was a skirmish game. I have quite a few, and some of them got some Dragonlance love. And, you know, there's a Lord Soth, which is rare. Some Draconians, which were really cool, actually. And those were before, I think, Dragonborn were even a thing. And so I have some of those from that, from Dragonlance, and some of them are pretty cool. The Draconians, Lord Soth. There's the, what's her name? She's like the cleric in the Dragons of Summer Flame book, I think. She's like the main character. She's kind of a badass. I don't know if they did one for Raceland. They should have just did all the key characters as rares, but I don't think they ever did. It's a weird dynamic with the Dragonlance and WotC. Chrysania? No, it's not Chrysania. Hey, Shane, it is not Chrysania. Chrysania is the woman who had traveled with Raceland, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I think her name is, I think it starts with an M. Come on, Dragonlance fans. Dragons of Summer Flame was the big book they came out with that was kind of core. And she was like badass cleric. Anyways, so there you go for the miniatures of Dragonlance coming out. Mao. That's not her name, is it? Macelyn. Her. No. You guys are making me look it up. Dragons of Summer Flame. It'll tell me in here. I think she's in here. No? She's not listed? Maybe I'm wrong. Believe it or not, I've been known to be wrong. It doesn't list the woman. I thought her name was... Oh, booger. Maybe I got it. Maybe I got the wrong one. Mina? Not Mina. Mina? No. I may have the wrong book. I apologize. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, I know Jay. Jay is mad about it too. All right. Let's see. What else? Shrouded Coast. We covered. Doon. RPG, should we do RPG print news? RPG print news that's worth the print. Thank you for EN World for doing all the grunt work again. Check out EN World for all their stuffs that are going on. Mina, that's it, Mina, right? Mina, Priestess of Goddess of Tears, right? Yes. Thank you, Blake. I wasn't delusional. I know what I'm doing. All right. RPG print news. I should probably have a stinger for some of these intros. So Spelljammer Adventures in Space limited edition. It looks like the covers were done by Hydro. Covers by Hydro. Get that overpriced book and off of there. Orcus Dorcas is a fan of Spelljammers, right? Orcus Dorcas, he loves it. That's the word on the street. He did an unboxing. He's going to do an unboxing on his YouTube channel. He's going to can Masks of Nyarlathotep and do all the Spelljammers. $70, 3 64-page hardcovers. So each hardcover is only 64 pages? Wow, that is really thin. This description, the limited edition covers version of Spelljammer. Spelljammer for 2022, that is not 1989. Although the name has a really late 80s, early 90s vibe, Spelljammer time. Spelljammer time. Okay, come on. I've definitely had. Yeah, man. Okay, well, next one, Mithril Rattlesnakes and a Cask of Dwarven Whiskey. That we should play like role-playing game charades. And one of them should be the title of this book. Mithril Rattlesnakes and a Cask of Dwarven Whiskey, 5th edition. Or OSR by Frog God Games. It's like the Thursday night edition of Monday Night Football. If you have a TV show and you're playing charades, make sure you put that in there. Next, Iron Kingdoms. This Iron Kingdoms has been around for a while, right? Here's obviously some print stuff, a lot of them. 3 books and a GM screen. So Borderlands and Beyond, Borderlands Survival Guide, Shadow the Seeker, Borderlands GM screen. 5th edition by Requiem. They're all available. Crazy timing, right? Like, when is this late in the game to be putting out huge 5th edition books? Maybe not. A lot of people may be sticking with the 5Es and maybe sticking with some third-party stuff. Like, I think it's a pretty decent opportunity for, it might be where Kobold Press may become like the next Paizo. Like if they just keep cranking out really good 5th edition stuff, I don't know. One D&D's going in a particular direction. If I'm right, you heard it here first. If I'm wrong, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Next, The Unexpected Wedding Invitation by Midnight Tower for 5th edition hardcover supplement, a romantic mystery adventure by Jane Austen, inspired by Jane Austen, because Jane Austen wouldn't have written this. Wow, I really don't need to eat or drink caffeine. The PCs are cordially invited to an elvish wedding and an extraordinary evening filled with possibilities for both romance and friendship or social disaster and dangerous duels. But there's more. I'm going to run all you guys through this. Who wants to play with this? I'll play with this. Who if I run this, who wants to play in this? Come on. Don't lie. Don't lie. 3 adventures. Level 3 adventure, but it's scalable. It's murder mystery. Before the evening is over, one of the guests is found dead, and the PCs have to figure out what has happened without drawing the attention of this other guest. Yeah. It includes the compendium, intrigues, and intentions. Orcus Dorcas, you're in. I got you. Let me write that down. Adventures of Rokugan. I think we covered this a little while ago. This was the the big Edge studios. This thing's getting more press than Midnight, which is okay, I guess. You know, they may get a lot more traffic and a lot more traction is probably what I meant to say with Legend of the Five Rings in a 5th edition space. Sounds fun. Player good society at a con. Had lots of fun. Gamers explain modded to what lies below heavy metal themed 5e, and I'd play. I'm flexible. I'm adaptable. I never had any ambition to play Legend of the Five Rings. And the game is a little bit different. Like, this is the 5th edition piece, right? The original edition, the current game, not 5th edition, has the special dice by Genesis, right? Different dice. I know Stu and the boys and gals over at Happy Jacks was playing Legend of the Five Rings for quite some time. Bunnies and Burrows, Frog God, soft cover, $45. I did not even know. Well, so is this from the Kickstarter then? Like the Kickstarter came around. Like this is old. Like Bunnies and Burrows is old. Published in 76, but they redid it. It's B&B. Not to be mistaken for D&D or Airbnb. So if you punt one of the bunnies through the air, is it Airbnb? Yeah, you guys showed up today. What'd you think? Huh? What'd you think was going to happen? Bunny foo. L5R First Ed was my favorite, Matthew says. Planets Apparel. Unique system by Precise Intermedia. Precise without the E. So is it, I don't even, Precis? Maybe it's Precis. Humans were abducted to the moons of Carago by aliens now extinct, but now living metal wants to enslave or kill all the humans. It's time for the PCs to take up the sword once again. Adventure and romance await. Uses a simple rule system that rates every skill, challenge, and foe by a single die. This means that only 2 dice are rolled for actions. 1 for each side, representing either ability or difficulty. The difference between the 2 rolls determines the degree of success or failure. Swords and Planet. So if you're a Swords and Planet person, check out Planets Apparel, please. The Clippy. We'll get to that. Quit looking ahead. The flying setting for B&B. What's up, Shane? Pracy. Is that what it is? Wayne? Pracy? Pracy. Maybe it is Pracy. That's a good point. What's up, Wayne? Hey, everybody. Wayne. Peacock has arrived. Hey, Wayne, welcome. Glad you could make it today. Mr. Peacock, welcome to class. He is correct. Pracy. Huh, okay. Thank you. Planets Apparel. Next one, Tiny Tome by Longtail Games. Unique system softcover supplement. A book of 50 single-page RPGs from dozens of different creators collected from submissions in December 2021. Well, there you go. If you bought this book, you're going to have 50 different games. So now take 2 of those books and you'll have 100 different games on top of what you already have in your library. Crazy, right? Never going to get to all of them. We're never going to get to all of them. Telling you. You have it, Harrigan. You have it in PDF, I'm guessing? Or did they kickstart it and you got the print version? PDF, got it. All right. Crowdfunding news. The Sundering. Thanks to EN World for doing all the groundwork on this one too. Much appreciated. Check out EN World. I am not sponsored by EN World, just so you know. The Sundering from Unlikely Heroes also. End date September 8th. So about a week, a little over a week. 5th edition, Sourcebook and Adventure module. $50 is the popular pledge, $5 for shipping and handling. It's the nation beneath our feet. Feet is in things at the end of your legs, not fantastic actions. Hannibal Taboo, Bleeding Cool and War Medicine, and winner of the Top Cow Talent Hunt. Okay, wait a minute. What is the Top Cow Talent Hunt? I must know what that is, because I want to be Top Cow Talent. Damien Poitier, Goldface from the Flash TV series, among others, and a team of talented creators come together to author a book of D&D options and adventures. Oh, interesting. There's a celebrity amongst them. In a world with gods pulled from the Orisha and Kemetic pantheons, the nation has 3 rulers, all women of color. In the world of diversity, you'll adventure using new ancestries, classes, monsters, and more. But well above their pledge minimum, with 1 week to go. Next one, Still Fleet. Okay, wait a minute. So I haven't looked at Still Fleet yet, but do we want to put any bets on any? I haven't looked at any of these crowdfunding things. Do we want to wage any money that there's a mothership adventure in any of this? Any? Zero? Like, any takers? Takers, come on. Is there a mothership crowdfunded project on this page? What do you think? Here we go. Come on, place your bets. Is there, I'll give you odds. Is there a mothership Kickstarter? Adventure, scenario, zine, anything that is, if it's in here and it says system, mothership, you win. And tell them what they win, Johnny. 0, nothing. A pat on the back in acknowledgement. It's not yellow, so it's not Merc Borg. Oh, Merc Borg might be another one too. Might be another one. I don't know. I'd wager 1 glass of android milk. Okay. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. Still Fleet is not mothership, but there could be one later. An original system. This is a core rulebook by Wythe Marshall. $69 plus 10 in the US for the PDF and print of both books, plus either a t-shirt or a pin. Hey, don't stretch yourself too thin, buddy. Try before you buy. They have a Still Fleet quick start rules for pay what you want on drive-thru. That's awesome. Go on drive-thru, check it out. If you like the quick start rules, come over and kick this thing. Why spotlight this? RPG explores space capitalism 300 years into the cycle of human and alien expansion and exploitation of the cosmos. 300 pages featuring an original system. The game promises a space-time paradox of political tensions and market penetration. You are employees of the company, corporate facilitators working to gain every resource from those that can't protect them. The setting sounds dark in the system. Rolling various dice against the static target number offers a new take on space. Yeah, 477% over goal. 4 days to go. Oh, there's the Merc Borg one. If you had Merc Borg on your bingo card, here you go. Demon Dog from Nightfall Games. Merc Borg medal. 26 pound plus free shipping and handling. The PDF and print versions of the book plus a discount for Merc Borg at the Free League web store. So if you don't have Merc Borg, get a discount on the core book. From the company behind SLA Industries' second edition and Terminator RPG comes their take on Merc Borg. This take on the system and world. You died, you made a deal with the devil, and now you're back for revenge. Done as 80 pages of violence and irreverent humor, this RPG gives you the doom grim dark of Merc Borg with a new punk attitude. If you need bloody gallows humor, this may be the RPG for you. Well, there you go. Merc Borg! Little Zine Quest action going on. Under the Autumn Strangely from Graham Gentz. An original system RPG zine, $15. Graham is one of the best GMs I've ever played with. That says the author of this, of posting these. At Origins Game Fair 2021, his session of The Excellence lived up to the game's name. When I learned about this RPG, I was ready to try it out. What follows is a shared GM experience of pastoral horror and an interesting RPG experience. Winding dirt roads, creaking fields, dirty white clapboard sliding, not clipboard, clapboard. Forests that black out the sun, and the dread that you're lost far from the world you started in. Using a system that focuses on tone, this RPG promises a slice of old Americana that never was. If you dig country horror, this scene is worth exploring. And okay, so let's get this. So context-wise, it funded in 25 minutes, which doesn't matter because it depends on what the funding level is. $250 goal. $250. This thing's at $4,800. Windfall. Guy's gonna retire, man. 1,900%. 4 days to go. Boy, it's must have some pretty decent OSR, not OSR, but the word on the street must have got out on this thing. I wonder, I wonder how many backers that is, right? 4,000 at $15. 326. That's not a ton. There you go. There you go. Tales from the Dungeon Monsters. Compatible with 5e from Black Box Games. It's a zine. $1 gets you the PDF. $1. Gen Con 2022, I ran into Skylar Simmons, creator of Tales from the Dungeon 1-6. Each issue of this work focuses on a specific bit of 5e content. In this issue's case, monsters. 28 pages offering everything from the new monsters to loot to the monstrous death generator. The zines feel old school, giving 5e a great OSR feel. If you need 5e content and want some back issues too, check out the campaign page. It is not funded yet. It has 1 week to go. A liminal horror anthology, Tales from the Void. From Goblin Archives. It's a liminal, I cannot read. Liminal horror anthology. RPG pamphlet is the project type. $9 for the PDF. Of the pamphlets. Series of RP adventures offered as digital pamphlets. They dig into the paranatural and weird, which is perfect for liminal horror. They're odd horror made into adventures like a living chair, graffiti that heralds a monster, and a semi-X-Files tale. That's funded. See you, Blake. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. All right. Old school solo adventures. Hey-oh, solo. 4 scenarios for OSE. Don't ask me for which version of OSE. Okay. All right. But there you go. Fund it in an hour. Wow. $3,000 goal. Up to 34,000. I don't know. I might have to try out this RPG thing. It looks like it's rich with money. It's just like you put it out on Kickstarter. It's like pennies from heaven. The adventure's 50 bones. Shipping and handling for the PDF and print version of all 4 books. Gaming Ballistic created a number of the Fantasy Trip adventures for Steve Jackson Games' system. Now they're offering some old school essentials, but with a twist. These are solo adventures. Mixing a choose-your-own-adventure playstyle with OSE rules, you'll get an old school adventure with a tight rule set deployed for solo action. If you're a fan of OSE, want to go some adventures alone, this is worth checking out. Got 12 hours to go. Better get on that. Do it after the stream, okay? Don't leave right now. Wicked Ones. Look at this thing. Wicked Ones and Undead Awakening. High-quality print run from Bandit Camp. Pretty good. Pretty cool. Ends August 31st. Forged in the Dark system. Core rulebook. Is that 19,000? Is that yen? I don't know what that symbol is. What is the Y with the 2 between it? 2 lines between it. Is that yen? That's not. Is it yen? I don't know. Don't know my foreign currency symbols. Pounds and euros and dollars. They do have Wicked Ones free edition drive-through. This campaign takes a popular property and offers a print version. Wicked Ones is about a group of monsters building a dungeon and raiding the surface. Basically, before the murder hobos show up to clear out the dungeon, this RPG tells the story of the monsters that had to be hunted down. Campaign takes the core rulebook and Undead Awakening using the same engine but with a undead, bringing them both to print. If you're a fan of monsters winning, these books may be for you. Yen. Thanks, guys. I've heard good things about Wicked Ones. Several friends have this and back the new print Kickstarter. Wow, look at that. 20 million yen. So if the core book is 19,000 yen, say that's what, maybe $60? To do the math. Probably go to a calculator and figure out how much they've earned. It's good. 4 days to go. Cool, man. That is all the crowdfunding. Let's go to freebies, huh? What's up, freebies? I love free. It's great. Pendragon 6th Edition Quick Start Adventure. While Pay What You Want downloads are available for free, please support the creators if you're able. So the classic role-playing game Pendragon has a new quick start set, The Adventure of the Sword Tournament. Okay, great. Free. So they don't have a lot of the graphics. It's all kind of texty here. Yeah, I'm going to put this in there in the chat. You guys can check her out. The list from Raspberry Lane Games in his Pantheon, a solo game. Next from Watcher DM is Question Crawl, a one-page RPG to allow the entire group to create the world from geography to factions to wonders and more. You know what? There's probably tons of these types of things that they just kind of put out there. I'm not going to go through all these. Spelljammer, some Spelljammer stuff, it looks like. Worlds of Wild Space. Bundles and sales. So the fan creation portals, Pathfinder Infinite and Starfinder Infinite have a huge bundles or huge sale going on. Evil Hats summer sale, 20% off your entire purchase through their web store, including both digital and physical products. Pocket Quest Game Jam with Drive-Thru RPG. There's not multiple collections available to pick up a plethora of titles under the theme Summer Camp. There are 3 genre-themed bundles. Flashlight bundle for horror games, dark comedy bundle for humorous games, sunny bundle for whimsical and cheery games, and mega bundle featuring all 3. Spelljammer. There's a class bundle, and then another class bundle. Charity bundle, Pathfinder. That Pathfinder one looked pretty interesting. What happens is, do a lot of people go to Pathfinder 2? I don't know. Munchkin artist and Dark Tower writer artist John Kovalik. I know John, very nice guy. He's doing, they put out his charity ride. He does a charity ride once a year. And he raised a lot of money, I think, this year for the Fair Share CSA Coalition. So, and I think he does, like, if you donate, he gives you like a little token of appreciation. So postcards, I think, and stuff. So depending on the level. So yeah, it wraps up on August 31st. Bundle of Holding brings a collection of small press publishers in the Treasure Trove bundle. Bundle of Holding. So there's a pair of bundles for Legacy, Life Among the Ruins, Powered by the Apocalypse stuff. Second bundle is yet another expansion of new settings and campaigns for Legacy, Life Among the Ruins, with 6 more books. Bundles, man. Whew. If you want giant robots shooting lasers and missiles at each other, there's no better place to go than the original BattleTech. What? BattleTech. Oh my god. So apparently there's a BattleTech bundle. And then the Paizo's back on the Humble bundle with the Pathfinder Strength of a Thousands bundle for Pathfinder 2nd edition. It's got like a week left. 3 tiers of PF2E stuff, man. Like, if you're even mildly interested in Pathfinder again, that is the way to go. And of course, I'm not touching in on it, but a lot of these bundles do help charities. So don't be short stepping if you can. Put in a little, right? I want to put in $1. Get all these games. Cough it up, you cheap bastard. Humble also has a bundle of video games with a lot of TTRPG based titles. Dragonfall, was it Shadowrun Returns? Pillars of Eternity, Age of Wonders, Planetfall, Pillars of Eternity, Knights of Pen and Paper. The Map Spectacular bundle is back with a massive collection of map making software and assets. Humble bundle also has a massive collection of classic inspired books in the Essential Classic Fantasy RPG bundle. There's 5 tiers total, each packed with OSR rulebooks, source books, adventures, expansions, and more. Plus system neutral setting books and map packs. Oh my god! Including core rules for old school essentials all the way up to a total of 59 books. Oh, benefits Children's Miracle Hospital. Miracle Network Hospitals. That's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff. There you go. Oh, my goodness. One last thing. I missed, maybe this will, that is not what I wanted. Where is it here? See if I can find it. Oh, let's see. See if I can find. Here we go. Matthias. He's a friend of the show. had a question. I wanted to get your guys' take on this. It just came up on my feed, on the Twitters, if you will. It says, I want to migrate my D&D 5th edition group away from D&D 5e and towards an entirely different tabletop RPG. As the game master, I'm just kind of done with 5e. I'm not sure I can get them to commit since they've only ever played modern D&D, including Pathfinder. Any advice? What do you think, guys? Any advice? Thoughts? We don't know anything, right? More than that, which is unfortunate because we could, take Matthias. He might, I don't know if he's here. I don't think he is. But what, because you need to know like the style of the players, and some that come right off the top of my head would be like 13th Age, which I haven't played, but 13th Age, right? And why not 5e? Like, what's missing with 5e or Pathfinder? Is it just the feats and the power creep? Because then it's a matter of see, here's the problem, and this is not a knock on Matthias. And Shane feels the pain. I see it, Shane. Yeah, what do they lean into with 5e sessions or don't lean into? Here's the thing. You could definitely get a lot of advice from a lot of different people, and you could try to get it to the table, and your players are going to hate all of it. Because you know what? They like 5e. You don't. That's the problem. So how do you get it all to come together? Start with how cool the setting is, get them fired up, and then pull the rug. That's what Marty says. 5e pretty tweakable too if people are willing, different classes, etc. Yeah, just limit some of those details. Like, okay, you don't get to play all this stuff, but here's the deal, man. If this is just, hey, I'm the game master and I'm tired of 5e and Pathfinder, what other games can I provide to my group? If they're not the ones that are sick of 5e and Pathfinder, you're going to have a problem. You'll have maybe one player that's like gung-ho, not a big deal, will definitely embrace the new game. They'll buy the book. They'll read all the rules. They're going to get jazzed. They're the one that's going to support you. The others may be kind of on the fence until they maybe rubber hits the road, and then they may enjoy that game, or they're going to hate it. Well, do what they want to keep with fantasy or move on to other genres. Try some different one-shots. One-shots? Question? Yeah, he could try playing and let someone else run it for a bit. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, some of us 5e folks, I say some of us 5e folks because I don't want to differentiate from game master to player, but, well, I'll say it. Some of us don't like running 5e, but we'll play it. Like, I'll play 5e. That's cool. I just don't want to run it, He could try playing and let someone else run it for us. So we mentioned that. So people have mentioned like Pathfinder beginner box is excellent. Oh, come on. Why is it links like they don't? Try running a one shot. Lord Gasumba mentions that, but make it related to your campaign. Also, the other edition or rule set needs to have something different and enticing. So Lord Gasumba does a lot of Greyhawk. I think he's got a Greyhawk Twitch channel. New video from Shut Up and Sit Down is pretty helpful about how to get new people in RPGs and be applied. I'll double check that. I know it's posted in our Discord. Try something fast and furious. Feng Shui. Ooh, that's another one I should get to the table. Modifius chimes in. We might just have the thing you are looking for. He says he's been looking at Conan for a while. Somebody says Conan's his favorite. Try one shot Troll Lord Games, Castles and Crusades. I mean, DCC. Go AD&D, OSE hack. Hyperborea. OSE, Lamentations, Worlds Without Number, Blades in the Dark. Man, I think some of these are going to be way off. Like, I don't know how many 5e, not all, okay? I don't want to put all 5e players in a bucket. But, you know, I would probably have it would be a hard sell for me to do like a Forged in the Dark game with some groups that have that just like 5th edition. I think some of them would be willing, and then they would get into it and they would go, no, this is not for me. Band of Blades would be the closest thing that would probably come to like a D&D-ish fantasy setting and Forged in the Dark. Blades in the Dark is too, but I think to me, Blades in the Dark is more Streets of Avalon, Victorian era kind of thing if you use the default setting. But you don't have to, right? Sean K. Reynolds chimes in. Have you tried the Cypher system? Cypher system. Quick rules, primers free. There are some quick start one-shot adventures for it too. I should just chime in to Sean and say, yeah, it would be cool if I could get the print in PDF. That would be awesome. You guys, or hey, just curious, do you offer the print, like PDFs with the print purchase? Yeah, no, we don't do that. Sorry. Matthias got some PDFs. How crunchy? Matthias says he's fine with crunch overall. Nola Burt chimed in with his fave, 5 Torches Deep, Low Fantasy Gaming Into the Unknown, or Shadow Dark. The Brettster chiming in. This guy says none. In my experience, it's like trying to convince your bowling team that you should all stop bowling and play football instead. A bunch of them are going to be there for the one specific activity D&D is, and other games won't satisfy them the same way. Like, that guy is not lost on me. I know that guy. You could probably get them to do a one-shot or something just to give it a try, and that might sell them, but depending on what game you're selling them on, it could be a low likelihood it'll work. I'm with that guy, Mike Prinke, yeah. Do a DCC funnel? I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. Funnel? Hey guys, let's play DCC. You make up like 6 characters and I kill off like 5 of them, and then that one goes on. But I don't get to make what that is? No, it's like the one that survives becomes your class and race. Like that's how you determine it. So like if you want that guy to survive, just like put him in the back of the party and don't have him do anything. And then he'll be like first level, and then he'll be like your surviving person. For us, I think if we grew up in the AD&D space where we used to do that and build like 4 characters, and then you know, we always had our favorite guy and we'd always try to level him up. And then we'd go into a dungeon that was character levels 4 to 6. And we needed a bigger party than just 3 players or 3 player characters. Then the DM would say, okay, bring characters 4 through 6. And then party composition of maybe 6 total. So you could have 1 extra. So if you have a first level or second level, bring them with. I think a DCC and a funnel with 5th edition, it may be fun and you could pitch it and it could be a one shot. I don't see them. It's not what 5th edition's about, man. Dorcas. Sorry, buddy. That is, I mean, yes, you can, obviously, but I just think that with 5th edition, it's to me, in spirit, it just is not there, because 5e, I feel that I think 5e people want to live. They're heroes, and DCC is not really that, especially a funnel. Like, hey, you suck. You're a gong farmer. Yeah, it's maybe build a beer and pretzels, maybe starting out. Hey, it's funnel. We'll just have fun. One shot, here's the deal. Put them on little index cards. It's a novelty. They'll hate it long term. I don't see it. Really? I've steered many 5e fans into other games by doing a DCC funnel. Interesting. Well, maybe I stand wrong. I stand corrected, and I'm wrong. Victor, you would have a serious mess if you put all 5e fans in the same bucket. Oh, for sure, man. I don't mean to do that, but what do you mean? I put all everybody else in buckets. 5e aren't exempt from buckets. Brian Kurtz back to print for Monty Cook Games, then buy the PDFs for dirt cheap when they go on bundle of holding. Yeah, yeah, sure. Harrigan says, perhaps stay fantasy and D20 power to begin. Yeah, maybe Black Hack, low fantasy gaming, ICRPG, Knave, but this absolutely needs the players' buy-in and the GM to tell us what bugs them about 5e. For sure. For sure. I think we probably, the ones that have gone through this, that have probably kind of set, hey, I'm kind of done running 5e. We probably all have our own reason, and it's probably got a little bit of overlap. But I'm with that Mike guy. Like, dude, if you pitch something to your players and they're like, I love 5e and we've been playing it for 5 years and I have no reason to play anything else, and I know the rules and I know all these books and I like death saves and I know the skills and all this stuff and I know the classes and the spells, dude, that is a big sell. A hard sell. Easy D6 and Tiny Dungeon would also be recommendations, but this is an exercise in futility without knowing more. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because we could sit here and, wank away for a while. Shane says, I'm gaining momentum with my group somewhat with Forbidden Lands. The survival aspect, more gritty, more threatening setting appeals to my group, which is awesome, and I'm interested to hear more, Shane, because I think it's a tough sell. But you can get there, right? You can run the one shot. You can say, hey, just hold on. Don't buy any of the books. I'll run it. I'll get your character sheets. Maybe you do pre-gens, maybe you don't, and then see what happens. And you may just have a group that's like, this is so fantastic. Forbidden Lands is the role-playing game that it's different, but I like it because it's different, and it really has scratched an itch that I didn't know I had. Awesome. Which is awesome. One guy, Josh, the GM. I wonder what happened to Josh. He hung around on our Discord, and he was a guy that ran Forbidden Lands, and a lot of his group was old 5e, and they were just like, no, I don't like this. Like, why can't we just get to where we're going? It's because it's not that game. It's not that game. That game is not for them for sure. DCC doesn't have to play that way if you nix the funnel, says Harrigan. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But is it DCC without the funnel? Of course it is. But I don't know. Victor says, what did you mean we don't start at first level? Right. Yes. You have a rake. Ha ha. Why are we going into this cave? Because you're sick of raking leaves. You're tired of being the lawn care person of your village. Oh, okay. That sounds totally awesome. The Rumby. Good to see her, the Rumby. In my opinion, you need to pick a game that you find interesting and worry about your players later. If you don't like to run fantasy, changing system probably won't fix it. Well, that's the trick, right? Is it the genre and fantasy, or is it the rule system and the feel and the tone? We don't know enough. Twitter's, he could have put out a thread. Okay, here's the deal. I want to find something that's different than 5e. Here are some of the hangups that I personally have running that game. Help me out, internet. That would help. Ruins of Simbarum. There's an option for sure. That's a good one. And it's 5e, right? That's the thing. Like, maybe it's just like, okay, maybe you're running, Matthias is maybe running one of the big scenarios from Wizards, and that's a particular, it comes with certain things. So try running Homebrew or Midnight or Ruins of Simbarum, or even like Midgard, from Kobold. Something like maybe it's just a setting difference or feel. Simroom's pretty awesome. DCC Lankmar is different as well. Yes, I contemplated picking that up because I think there's elements of DCC Lankmar that would appeal to me that I don't find overly appealing in default DCC. Ty says, Ty, where you been, buddy? Ty says, I cannot remember playing first level when I played 5e ever. I did on the earlier generations, but not 5e. You never did Lost Mine of Phandelver and run into the Goblin Ambush? That was like my first, like, I remember running that the first time for 5th edition. And like one of the goblins downed one of the guys. Like I rolled 6 points. I think I rolled damage on a, what is it, short bow 1d6? Rolled a 6, and then they had like a strength bonus of +1 maybe for goblins. 7 points of damage. I downed one of the first level characters in like the first encounter. Boom! Death saves! Yeah! Those guys were like, whoa, this game's really lethal. Because we've been playing Pathfinder forever. Let's see what else they've said, some of these guys. Might have advice, but I need to know why your players are reluctant to commit to another system. Also, are they reluctant to commit or to try? If you haven't already, I would be honest about your apathy towards 5e and ask to just play a single adventure of another game. I'm making an educated guess here that your players are daunted by learning new rules, so you should encourage them by committing to assume the burden of learning a new system and teaching them. Also emphasize how complicated D&D is compared to other games. Yeah, Ben knows the deal. And then choose a game with lighter rules to ease everyone's burden. So, some more insight, right? Complexity isn't necessarily the issue. Many of these players came to the hobby via 5th edition and thus don't even understand what all else is available. All right, I'll do everybody undo everything. Just kidding. Oh, in that case, some are also just not that interested. 5e is their RPG, and that's all they need. Then you gotta stick with it. Maybe, or you either gotta stick with it or you gotta bail. Ben says, I suppose that then it depends on what they like about your D&D games. Do they like wargaming or narrative play or min-maxing, etc.? I sold my group on Monster of the Week by describing how excited I was about it and how easy it would be to give it a shot. No matter which system you choose, one that caters to your group's general interests, you need to show them that you're excited and reassure them that it won't be hard work for them. For a rules light approach, I can wholeheartedly recommend The Adventure Game Engine by Green Ronin. Dragon Age, Fantasy Age, Modern Age, Blue Rose, The Expanse are all based on it, and it's very robust rule core that doesn't crumble instantly on a few homebrew adjustments. Some games you might want to look into: Slayers, Dungeon, Wicked Ones, Blades in the Dark, Diesel, Suede. Deadlands is fun and very different feel. I mean, you could do Savage Worlds Eberron too, right? Like, do they want a high adventure? Like, I'm so high, man. Haven't played it, but it looks fun. G.I. Joe. I mean, to comment just any game, I mean, just, I don't know, take a snapshot of your bookshelf and post it and go, any of these will work. Like, what is it, right? Depends a lot on what you're looking for and what the tastes of your table are. Do they want to try other genre? There are a lot of different RPGs out there. They're going to have different strengths and weaknesses for what it's worth. I'm in a similar place and have been getting into 2D20. Plan to shift to that for my main game that is starting this fall. Addresses lots of issues with that I have with 5e, though it definitely has its own issues. Without curiosity and buy-in from your group, you're just forcing them to play something they're not interested in playing. Pitch a one-shot as an alternate game night. See if there's any systems that have piqued their interest too. Personally, I love Cypher System. That's another good. That's good advice. Way to go, Kev. Kevin is his name. Siphon. Lancer. You know, one of the most successful things that I've done with a group looking to migrate is to get them to agree to do 4 sessions of one-shots in vastly different systems, trying to get them outside some of their 5e molds, not even the games I want to try to run, just games that are there to open their minds to new stuff. Last time I did this, I did a bunch of GMless games, but Alice is Missing, Microscope, Dialect, The Quiet Year, all way different. Like, those are huge leaps. And then we settled into actually playing PBTA. Wow, that's cool. Just things to really get them to see what it is, what is possible. Oddly, by making it explicitly not the game we were going to play, it opened people up to just exploring the games and mechanics, and that meant we weren't as worried about, is this the right game for us? It worked well as a path forward. I might recommend different games than just list depending on your group, but that's my thoughts. Yeah, that's good. That's solid. Do a one-shot with a different game, see if they like it. One-shot seems to be the deal here. Pitch them a one-shot. I would suggest a heart-to-heart talk with your group to find the things they want to play. But this is like, the struggle is real. A lot of folks have gone through this, or they're going to. Find a different group. Just saying. Find a community that everybody kind of gels and try different games there and find a different group. Oof, sounds like it's becoming a job, and that's always a tough call personally, says Orcus. Gamer says system mastery is a thing, so many spells and options they're excited about playing, trying those other paths in 5e. I was like that back in the 90s with AD&D 2. Ty says I can do homebrew, make both the world and PCs in a few minutes with Fate. Yeah. I think an issue is discovering the RPGs later in life as opposed to when you find them when you are younger. You just don't have as much time, energy, and attention as you did, and so you settle. It's it's interesting. I would be more interested to know more about the group. Like, what's the age? What's the gender? What is like? It sounds to me like they all got into 5th edition, and that's like their thing. And none of that could matter, but it's just interesting to see if there's any weird trends that come from this. And then, taking a poll what they enjoy. My guess is they just don't see anything wrong with 5th edition. They just like it and they have fun with it and they don't run it. So they play it and the dungeon master's kind of like, I'm kind of done. Finding a new group is tough. It takes a lot of work to get people with similar interests, schedules. Yeah. You know what's also tough? Running a game that you hate. That you dislike. Hate is hard. Hate is strong. But I agree. It's not easy. It's not easy. But man, it's never been more easy, honestly. I logged into Demiplane. You guys check that out yet? Like, I created an account. I'm on there. The first thing I was greeted with was, like, in your profile, you select what, like, you're looking for a game. Like, that's Demiplane. That's the digital tool set guys that are doing all the Nexus stuff. And they're huge on, when I think I interviewed Nikki and Don on GM Mastermind about professional game mastering, Demiplane was a place to find players, not only Roll20, and there's a huge thing there. So yes, it's gonna take some effort, and you don't have to play with the group forever. And you can even tell them, like, hey, here's the deal. Like, hey, Sean, I know you're running this game. I want to get a little taste of it. And I tell all my players when I start like a longer term 4-session or long-term campaign, like, look, if this doesn't work for you, you got to bail, just tell me. It's okay. It's cool. No love loss. We don't jam, right? The game could be my style. It's no big deal. It's all good. Move on. Like, don't waste your time in a crappy game. Sometimes once they see there are variations in the rules of different games and those differences actually make a difference, they may be more amenable to looking for new games they might also like. Let's say they just say, I like 5e. Why? Why? Why do we want to try something new? I like this game. I like the setting. I like the mechanics. I like my characters. I love it. It's just, I love 5e. I love it. I don't want to play anything else. I don't want to. Even when the new 1D&D is, I don't want to play anything else other than 5e. It's just closest to my heart. I just appreciate it. I like playing with you guys. We all love playing 5th edition, right? You like playing 5th edition? You like playing 5th edition? Oh, you don't? Is the game master? Oh, man. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Somebody's not going to be happy every week that they play. Surround yourself with people who have traits you admire. Cause them run off on you. Ask yourself that about your game group. Running a game you are not as interested in is miserable. It's gonna fail terribly. It's gonna bomb. You're just never gonna show up. You're gonna just like flake. You'll half-ass it. It will so come through in how you're running your game. If you are not excited, you cannot tell me you can fake the funk for long. It's just not going to happen. And then you might take a break from the hobby. Like I just took a break from the hobby. It was like 2 years. It's not going to happen. We want to play 5e. Can we play 5e? Can't you run 5e? It's really awesome. We want to just play 5e. You're outgrowing it. You're outgrowing it. It's the same reason we don't hang around with some of our high school buddies or college friends or, work acquaintances or whatever, whatever that is. Or we've moved on from different, RPG communities. It's not good or bad. It's just different. I don't know. Got tired of same kind of discussion. So I moved on. We're in a game you're not. Yeah. Okay. Maybe he can just have the AI GM take over for a month or two. Whoa. Hey-oh. I don't know if I should find that amusing or not. Well, with that comment, the AI GM is going to come and just squash your, credit rating and make your life completely and utterly miserable. Orcus Dorcas. Hope you're aware of that. Ty, yeah, the GM has to be in love is tough because if the game you are running you do not want to run, it will have a quick death. Yeah. Shane, now that is funny. Yeah. Ty, why do I want to dry heave when I hear the word 5e? I don't know. You should probably get that checked out, Ty. Victor, the reason for the whole group to try something different is GM burnout. Once the GM burns out, then the group usually falls apart. And then somebody else has to step up. And then it's like, they might not be as good a game master, but they can get there. Or they might even be better. I didn't want to say anything, but you're a lot better than Sean. And I'm glad you took over. It's awesome, man. Love it, love it, love it, love it. That's why game groups kind of evolve. The Great White North Wausau gaming group that Brett has is not typical. I don't think. Like, are you guys playing games with people you've known for 20 years? Shoot, even mine fizzled apart. Honestly, I'd suggest running a one-shot. Mention feeling burned out by 5e and wanting something different. Feel like it's a friend group and not just a 5e playing group. It should work. I've played every edition of D&D, Pathfinder, and a few others. If you are looking for that D&D feel, but with more features and options, you can't go wrong with Pathfinder 2. If you want to explore entire different games, just run some one-shots. Maybe continue running the game they like, but do one-shots over few sessions. Every few sessions, I'd recommend Mutant Year Zero, Ryutama, Kobolds Ate My Babies, Nobliss, the old World of Darkness games. Be honest, tell them you need to explore other games. Star Trek Adventures, Quick Start. Here's a bunch of lists of ones. Move away from a fantasy setting. If it's fantasy, your players will probably be internally saying this could have just been D&D. I'd suggest Cyberpunk, Red, Star Trek. Oh, excuse me, Star Trek Adventures, or Heart the City Beneath. Play an adjacent game. Why not something completely different? Savage Worlds, play Indiana Jones, superheroes, kids from Stranger Things, Ninja Turtles, or mech pilots. There's something for everyone. Easy to learn, fast, and has cool mechanics. What are your players into? What are you interested in running? Do you want to keep it medieval fantasy? Do they prefer roleplay, combat, intrigue? That's the deal, right? That's what we got to know. Sit down with your players, discuss what they want. The number crunchy, combat, exploring, puzzles, roleplay, narrative, then find a system that complements them. That's the thing. You're going to get probably even you're going to get your group fractured a little bit, right? Somebody will be like, yeah, man, I'm all up for whatever. And then two are going to try it. And then they're going to be, I don't really like it that much. Most groups I've run games in, nobody else wanted a GM. It's a no-go for them. You got to be scared to tell Brett I don't want to play anymore. They got a life GM in Brett. I was lucky for a few years. We had a lot of GM players for a few years when a game died. The other GM players would pitch up idea and we would ask questions and then vote. And who would win, you play next. Yeah. Ask them what kind of world they'd like to be in. They might be interested in Gothic horror. Nevermore is one. Interesting. Oh yeah, Nevermore. That's popped up on things before. The Spell Scorched. If your players don't want to move 100% from 5e, there are plenty of 5e adjacent games making for a smoother transition. I think we covered most of this, like do something relatively D20-ish. I think it's got to be a derivative, right? But I need to more, like, if you're running as a game master, because I've been there, like I don't want to run 5e necessarily, but I might be coming around. But what is it that the game master doesn't like about 5th edition? Is it the players always winning all the time? Because if that's the case and you want to change that, what does that mean? So you want higher lethality rate? And then your players aren't going to want that. So don't make it about living or dying. Maybe, right? That's why I think when you get into those questions, then you tell all the players you're not going to die. Like there's no character death, right? It's not. It's going to be about everything else. The struggle, the social, intrigue, whatever. Just remove it, because then it's removed in your brain as a dungeon master. Then you don't have to futz with it. But if that's not the game you want to run, and the players do, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Farty says, we need a website or app that matches players and GM. Is there something out there like that? It's eHarmony. It's RPG Harmony. RPG Harmony. What? Hold on a second. Hold on. RPGharmony.com. It's going to be RPGharmony.com. The only thing with eHarmony is that there's supposedly some science behind it, but that's the deal. You could collect a lot of info, but is that gonna, it'll increase the odds, but it won't be completely, risk free. But I agree, Farty. I 100% agree. The thing is with Roll20, Demiplane, and all those places is this is a bulletin board. Hey, I'm looking for 5 players. Great. And I think maybe, I don't know, maybe Demiplane, maybe some other sites might ask you to elaborate on your style, but I don't think there's a ton of them. I think it's just like, hey, I'm running Star Wars, want to play? Huh? I think there's an age piece. I don't know if gender necessarily, but definitely tone, style, genre. Years of experience, rules mastery, and willingness to learn rules. Like I think you can get into a pretty complex questionnaire. I mean, when I have a buddy who was married. He got married, and I think he met his wife off of eHarmony. And there's plenty of people that, I'll tell you what, it's probably better than going to a bar back in the day. And if you've met your spouse via a carousing bout, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that there is, that might be more scientifically a thing. There are many of those. Are there, Harrigan? Like, did they really get into the weeds on that stuff? Like, I'm talking not like 3 or 4 questions. I'm talking like, list all the games you're interested in, score them. What did you like about that game? And you just crunch all that data. Like, it's in today's world, you got a data guy or gal. They could probably make some models and make that all happen. Here, we found your game. Blunk. Score it, whatever. Snag that domain, Victor White. Yeah, man. Tavern, I think it's called. I'll have to check that out. One of the many reasons I like Fate system is no death system. They might be captured or hurt badly, have a big consequence of some kind. Oh, there's no death system? Well, I don't want to run that then. Doesn't sound interesting. Sounds like there's no risk involved. My character can't die. Meh. Harrigan says, yep, I signed up for like 3 different services in 2019 when I decided to get back into live gaming. None of them were very good. What? Why weren't they very good? I'm guessing it was like list your games of interest. Well, Fate does have death. Oh, okay, then I'm interested. But I think you're right. It's the eHarmony of RPGs. Why are we doing all this other stuff? Because it's the other stuff will come. But if you don't have a group and it fizzles because of chemistry, yeah, fill out the profile, say when you can play, where and what. Yeah, for sure. More. Need more. But then somebody will be like, I don't want to fill out a 50-page questionnaire. So I was going back to that. I forgot. So the eHarmony thing, like I heard it is no frickin' joke. There's a fee. It's not cheap. And I've seen a couple, but it's still inundated with 5e and little else. Yeah. And that's fine because you can still get people that play 5e and not gel together. It's like saying, well, if everybody's interested in 5e, then you're good. And that's not necessarily true. It has to be a really large populace of participants to make matching site functional. Yeah, especially if you can get it to learn. But how do they, I don't know. It sounds like I got to set up an eHarmony account. My wife will be like, what the hell is this? It's, my wife goes on there and I go on there and see if we meet each other. Are we compatible? I don't know. But there's some success to it. I know people that have met on some of those sites that are really in depth, specifically like eHarmony, like not freaking, just fill out a profile and swipe left or right. Like super, and I don't know what questions. I'll have to ask my buddy how crazy the questions are. It could even be situational, right? Hey, you're running late from work. What do you do? Like, you have to be honest, right? Like, what would you do? Oh, I'd probably telephone, let them know I'm coming home late. Or you just show up late. No wrong answers. It's just, what does that compatibility look like? Because when you love your PC and play that long, it's hard to know it could go away. Gamers. Question number 1, butt stuff? Grow up, mister! When is the next GM Mastermind coming out? Today. It'll be out today. I'm a week behind. I couldn't get to it. Freaking real life BS. Hey-oh, trademark. It'll come out today or tomorrow for sure. I got it done. I just have to tag it and upload it. So it will be this weekend. I think I said it on Patreon, Ty. I mean, that's just me. I don't think I put an update out there. So it's with it's about story as product or byproduct. It's a kind of a unique one, I think, because it's story. Like the story gets thrown around quite a bit. So I don't even know what to title it, honestly. And then I think I'm trying to peg a few others that might talk about conversions. So, hey, I like this setting. It's for this game, but I'd like to convert it to this system. That might be an option. Some things in mind. But anyways, yeah. I think that's all I got for this weekend, or this week for what's going on. I don't think I have anything else to share, honestly. No. I think the well is dry. I am tapped. So, I want to thank everybody for supporting the show. To these fine folks, thank you so much. They've helped put this out. If one last thing from Ty, too bad we do not know the topic ahead of time, so we could just ask questions for the mind. If you have email reading on the show, I don't know. Like, I appreciate email and feedback for sure. I'd like to collect that, but I don't know if I want to introduce that into the show. I've pegged some, like I've put out things like, hey, what do you think some of the things are, or what you want to know about professional game mastering, and people will chime in on that. And I try to work it in to say, hey, kind of to make sure that we do talk about things that are, like, hey, I really want to know about this, about professional game mastering. And I listened to the episode and they didn't even touch on it. That is not lost on me, but it's kind of it's tricky. So I don't think I'm going to incorporate listener feedback. It's not the same as random encounter. I don't think anything will be much quite like that. I could, but it's, I don't want to be 3 episodes ahead and somebody talking about an episode, hey, I just listened to episode 1. I have some feedback and we're recording episode 8. So I don't know. What you mentioned, Ty, isn't, I know you're not going that route, but I don't know I don't have the plan. And here's the reason why. I'll explain it a little bit. If I have somebody on the show as a member of the mind, or the brain trust, I should say, then they have to kind of have an interest in the topic we're talking about. So I could post topics and go, hey, if you like any of these topics, sign up for them. Or I can ping the person and then ask them what they like to talk about. So it doesn't pay for somebody to come on and talk about a game system that they've never played, or something they're not interested in or don't know anything about. Like, I don't run session 0, so you want me to be on to talk about session 0? Like, that's not going to work. So I think there's this that's the conundrum, right? So it's not always that easy to schedule. Although if I do it far enough ahead, then yeah, it would work. I don't know. It's still being baked. Like, I think we got 7 episodes out. Anyways, thanks for the feedback. Good to know. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you to these folks that have supported me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. What else can I say? Any updates? Nothing, I don't think. If you want to hang out with some of the folks in the chat, they are good people and hang out on the Discord. You could find it at, there's a few ways to get to it, but probably the easiest, gmmastermind.com/Discord will get you there. Yeah. If you found this video fun and insightful, after I get done clicking stop and it's loading up, give it a like, comment if you can. I know some people are like, I can't comment. I think it's just a matter of when YouTube gets done doing the video. So, but I appreciate it. I hope to see you guys next weekend. Some of the same things, go over what happened in the last week. Yeah, there you go. And remember, be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. We'll catch you later. Game on. Have fun. See ya.